Academic pressure, coupled with social expectations, has made stress a part of our lives from the early days of schooling. But school education, as we know it, is set to change. Students of secondary and higher secondary levels will soon be able to take the board exams twice and will have the option to retain the higher score for subsequent admissions. The multiple board exam system proposed by the National Curriculum Framework aims to alleviate the exam stress experienced by students. The Central Board of Secondary Education, or CBSE, will organize the board exams twice a year from the academic year 2024-25, and the new curriculum will offer students of Standard 11 and 12 the option to choose a range of disciplines including science, arts and commerce. The new rule is in accordance with New Education Policy 2020 and is under the new curriculum framework announced by the Ministry of Education in August 2023. Notably, it is not the first initiative towards reforming board exams. Previous measures such as the Continuous and Comprehensive Evaluation introduced in 2009 was revoked in 2017 and the board reverted to the traditional year-end exam model. So how will this new rule change the school curriculum?
October or November is typically the time when the children are having their midterm exams, or let's say their half-yearly exams. So the pressure to complete the entire syllabus within a shorter period, I think that will be more stress for the teachers as well. Definitely, it's going to disrupt your academic cycle as well, right? I mean, there's no point starting an academic cycle then and in April, which technically starts off. Probably it will have to look at that. How do you possibly start a bit early? So can you start in March, in April? Because then you also need to have your breaks in between as well, right? Depending on which region are you. So obviously, this would definitely entail a little bit of disruption in the academic cycle, which means that there's a possibility that the academic session should begin little in advance so that you get the similar kind of time frame to prepare yourself even for the first attempt.
The Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said that the biannual exams will not be obligatory. It is being introduced as an alternative to mitigate the stress faced by students who worry about having just one chance to perform well in exams. Unfortunately, reports of student suicides after result announcements is not uncommon of late. According to National Crime Records Bureau, 13,089 students died by suicide in 2021. That's a 32.5% jump compared to the 9,905 deaths in 2017. That's nearly 36 student suicides in India every day of 2021. The NCRB data also reveals that of the 1,64,033 people who died by suicide in India in 2021, 10,732 were below the age of 18. Further, around 80% students between class 9 and 12 suffer from anxiety due to exams and results, reveals a survey by NCERT. According to academics, in India, two sets of students appear in the senior secondary examinations. One who prepare only for these exams and the others who at the same time prepare for competitive exams like JEE and NEET. And a section of them believe that the new rule may add pressure for both sets of students, with one group potentially experiencing more stress than the other.
At least when there is only one examination, students have a feeling that they have prepared for it and they have completed it. But when you are spreading this in November, one examination, and in February, March, another examination, it is also a question that tension, any test creates tension for the students to anybody. So that there is a continuous tension the students will be suffering from. That is what I feel. So let me repeat what I said, that the tension for the JEE, NEET, etc. will be much higher than the tension for the CBSE 12th grade examination.
Students who prepare for competitive exams like JEE and NEET travel to coaching hubs like Kota, etc. while enrolling in dummy schools in their home states. These students appear straight for board examinations, often without attending classes. Kota reportedly saw at least 29 suicides in 2023. So will the new rule ease or add to the exam stress among students?
What will happen is that these courses are to be completed by November now, if the board exams are going to be held in November. So for the general students, it's a tremendous pressure, too much to study and too little time when compared with the previous occasion. So that pressure will be increasing. Although there is a relaxation that even if you miss now, you can go to the next one. As I mentioned, test is a test and it creates tension. The students, when they are completing, how do they decide that whether I should reappear or not? Say, in those who are going for JEE, there is a mark based on which you can say, for example, if they have got more than 75%, they can get admission to IITs or any institutions that they are applying for. So then they can take a decision that, no, I will not go for another reset or re-examination. But if you are getting 90% and you are not going for any of these examinations, are you satisfied with the 90% or will you again appear for getting higher score, So there is no benchmark for them. It is very difficult unless we see the experience for 1 or 2 years, we will not be able to predict how the students will behave.
The CBSE is yet to announce guidelines for the academic year 2024-25. Experts believe that the impact of biannual exams on students' well-being will only be known once it is implemented. While the move appears progressive for allowing students an additional chance to enhance their scores, it can also strain the academic system and introduce more stress among students.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.